I have a favorite word and a favorite sentence. This one word and this one sentence has impacted my life personally, my home life, the vocation I'm a part of, this region, and in some respects, the world. Just one word and one sentence, and the sentence has 7 words in it. So I suppose you want to know what the one word is. Well, the one word is a simple word that you use a lot, I use a lot. Only has 3 letters. It's a word that is, you can read it forward and backwards. It's the same word. It's really good for dyslexics like myself. I always think that maybe God knew that I was dyslexic because he had my parents name me Bob. And this word is just like that. 3 letters. And this word is wow. Simple word, but really profound when you think about it. When you see the word wow, or you say the word wow, that means something astonishing, something wonderful, impressive has taken place. Wow. Now I want you to compare that to another word, whoa. You see, whoa is dull. Wow is the opposite. It's exciting. Whoa can be boring. Wow is energetic and exciting. The word wow, when it's understood and applied to your life and your business or your home or your region, can make a huge impact. Think about the word wow. So, Barry Posner in his book said that if you have a scale of 1 being really bad, 5 being absolutely amazing, or for my sake, I'll say the word wow, and let's say 3 would be whoa. He said this: if you would experience a place or an experience that you consider a 5, a wow, you are 6 times more likely to talk about it than even a 4. If you experience a 3, you won't tell anybody. Express Global Customer Service did a survey, and they discovered that if a person experiences a wow moment or wow experience in business or in the world, a restaurant, for example, if they experience a wow, a 5, in 12 hours they'll tell 9 people. In a matter of a week, they'll tell 42 people. But a whoa, no one. Now let's think about that. In the home, I have really good friends that have been married for 18 years. When they got married, they said, we're going to date each other every Thursday night, and it's going to be a big deal. And I said, in my mind, I said to myself, well, wait till they have kids. But they start out every Thursday night. They put out the fanciest, plates and glasses and wine glasses and candle lights. And every Thursday night, they dated each other. Then they had first child and second child, third child, fourth child. Guess what they still do every Thursday night? They date one another. Now they have a high school down to 3rd grader. And in that process, what they do is they still feed the kids. And then after dinner, the kids do their stuff. The high school kid goes to their homework. The little younger ones go to bed. And then what do? They start making a meal for themselves, put out candles and the dishes, and they date each other to this day. And you know what happens there? I heard that story, and guess what happened? What did I say? Wow. And I thought, I should do that. I should date my wife that regularly and say, wow. I just want you to think about that. Now let's think about a business. Wow. So next to the church that I serve, a strip mall came in. And I was all excited because there's no restaurants around our church, the facility I serve at. First end unit, obviously a hot dog stand came in. Just by the picture of the hot dog, and we're all like, all right, and the staff are like, hey, we got somewhere to go, let's go eat health food. And so we walked over there and went in there, and we got a hot dog, And in my little hot dog plate, I got 5 fries. And the hot dog was, well, I didn't tell anybody. None of us really said anything after that, and I never went back. Within a year, they're closed. Vacant. All of a sudden, I start to see things changing again. New decorations, a new sign, and now it's obviously a breakfast joint and lunch. Got to check it out. Go in, walk in, sit down, order my breakfast. And the first thing I said was, wow, an unbelievable omelet. Turns out the owner was a famous chef in the city who always dreamt of opening up his own mom-and-pop breakfast and lunch place. Left that to start this, and that omelet was wow, and it still is. They make everything original. They have their own ketchup they make. Who has that? You say that, and you go, wow, what's this? They go, oh, we make our own ketchup. They have their own jams. Wow. Every meal, they have a monster monkey pancake system that you eat. It could feed my whole family. The proportions. And you know what? They have never put up a billboard. They've never advertised in a magazine or a newspaper, and yet on weekends, you can't get in. It's the power of wow. How about customer service? Think about customer service. So a few weeks ago, I speak at the college I was at in Iowa, and I was coming back early in the morning with my wife sitting shotgun, and she was we're driving my little VW Bug, which I just love, and we're flying down the road, and the sun's just starting to come up, can't really see. I'm going 70 miles an hour, all of a sudden, boom, the side of my car gets hit. Laurie, my wife, thought something from the sky dropped. I got broadsided by a deer, a buck. And it tore off my mirror, the side of my car is dented, and it tore off the back fender and the bumper. The sheriff nicely signs this little report saying, you can drive home. He said, I shouldn't let you. But in the report, got home. So the first thing I have to do is I have to go to the insurance. I call them. They said, get 2 estimates. We suggest this place in your region and this place in your region. So I go into the first one. I pull in, and I walk in, and they're nice, but nothing over the top. And they say, oh, you can't leave here. That's too much damage. No. And they were pressuring me, and all I wanted was an estimate. And I didn't like it. I said, no, I'm going to think about it. I left, and I went to plan B. Went to the second body shop. Pull in, walk in, they go, hey, how you doing? I said, I need an estimate. Oh, yeah, no problem. Be about a half an hour. Would you like a bottle of water or coffee? I said, yeah, I'd like a bottle of water. They said, sit down here. And they said, we'll be done within a few minutes. They walked out the car. I explained it to him. He said, 20 minutes or so, I'll be done. So I go back in, sit down. Walks in and says, okay, here's your estimate. Here's the deal. If you choose to use us, that's great. Here's how we work. We will take your cell phone number if you'd like, and we will then text message you the process of the car. Will be done in 9 days. So yesterday, I got a text message. My car is 72% finished. Why did I choose them? Wow. I was impressed with their demeanor. I was impressed with their facility. It was a body shop that was looked like it was sterile. It was that clean. I said, wow. It's the power of wow. Now let's go into my profession. When I became the pastor of this church, 1990, they were admittedly a woe. They admitted it. They said, Bob, we're lukewarm. We're not growing. In fact, we were at 500, now we're at 250. They didn't use the word wow, but they said, we'd really want to make this church a wow. And I happen to believe the God of the universe is a wow God. And I said, okay, let's go on a journey. So what we began to do in the story of the profession I'm called to, is I said, let's make the worship experience where people come in and go, wow. Because most times people go to churches, they go, well. And so we went at the music and said, what would it take to make music wow? What would it make to make messages wow? What would it take to have greeting when people come in? Say, wow. What about the children's ministry? When I was a kid and I was a minister's kid, they call them PKs, preacher's kid, or TO, theological offspring. That was me. We had to go to church, and it was like a drudgery to go. And even as like little kid, like, oh, this is so boring, and you got to go in this classroom, and this person really doesn't like to teach, and they make me teach him and all this stuff. So I said, what if our children's ministry, our kids want to go, and they're waking up mommy and daddy and going, let's go to church. So we began to change and create a wow experience. And that wow grew like crazy. We started to see people inviting people. It's the power of wow. What is wow about you? God created you. You have gifts and talents that are unique to you. What is it about you that people go, wow? Or what is it that you're passionate about that is a wow? Is it a skill? Is it a knowledge? What is it? Discover that and get better at it. It's the power of wow in your business. You see, people want to be going and participate in the experience of a wow. They don't want to return to a woe, and certainly they'll complain about a bad. Like I said, one word impacted my life, my family, my vocation, this region, the world. Now, one sentence. If it's alive, it's meant to multiply. Now, for some of you, right away, you're going to the place you shouldn't be going. Remember, I'm a pastor. What it means is, if something is wow, something is alive and healthy, it's meant to multiply. It has the natural propensity to multiply. Take, for example, the law of nature. You've got a tree. A tree is planted or starts growing. If it's alive, if it's healthy, it will create seedlings. They will grow, they will fall, and then they will grow, and pretty soon you have a forest. Across my office, across the street, is a forest. It's basically what was alive that reproduced. You take that into human nature and the animal world. If it's alive, it has a potential, it's healthy, it has the ability to multiply. So you take the wow, you take what's alive, and it's meant to be reproduced. Now, you go to my story again. So we began, and what can we do to make the ministry, for you it'd be a business or a school or whatever it may be, what is it that we could make it say wow? And then the church grew, and we were a little A-frame church that would seat about 275, and now we're at 4 services, 1 on Saturday, 3 on Sunday. We were out of space. I'd have to tell people, hey, end of service, can you leave fast so the next crew could come in? There was such a buzz about the wow. So we relocated. Dyer, Indiana. We built our first phase of a very large site. 900 people, built a $9.2 million building facility. And we thought we have plenty of time to fill that up. We went from 900 to 2,200 in 12 months. And we were back at, now what? We're out of space. So what do? You hire a consultant. Basically, they're hired to tell you what you already know, but they affirm it. So we hired a consultant. He came in, and they did all this research, and they said, guess what? You can't build buildings fast enough to get people's butts in seats. He said, you should consider reproducing your church. What do you mean? He said, why not take what is alive in your church and just reproduce it in another community? And that's when I had an epiphany. If it's alive, it's meant to multiply. And I said to myself, okay, yeah, I could stay right here, and our 2,000 church maybe someday would be 10,000, 12,000 in one spot, one town. What if we take what is alive in us and reproduce it in another community? So we thought, well, let's do that. So we took 110 people from our Dyer site with a couple leaders that were trained and said, can you take the alive worship experience, children's ministry, greeting, and can you reproduce it in Cedar Lake, Indiana, in a gymnasium? And we opened up, and the church grew like crazy fast. And a bunch of people were going, wow, I like this God. I like this church. And they started joining. I'm going, hey, this is kind of cool. If it's alive, it's meant to multiply. And now, what's one town is now affecting a region. Today, we have 7 churches in the region of Northwest Indiana in the south suburbs. Our church's dream is to have 20 sites by 2020 in Northwest Indiana. Because we think we can make an impact for God. So we want to start 11 more sites. Well, you're probably going, Bob, you're a preacher. You're not very good at math because 11 plus 7 is 18. Well, that's because we would like to start 2 faith churches overseas. I'm going to Brazil in January, and we've already studied Dominican Republic. And what we want to do is take what is alive, what makes people say, wow, and could we reproduce this somewhere else? I'm going to ask you, what's your wow? What is special and unique about your business? What could be wow about your parenting? You see, this can make a difference. I just read recently the front of the local paper called The Times, over the weekend. A school system in Hammond got a wow exposure because their math is way ahead of the other schools. If I were them, I would reproduce that. I'd go to other schools and say, let's reproduce that. It's the power of wow. What are you known for in your business world? School systems, neighborhood. You know, why is it that one town in West Michigan is known for tulips? I've been there. It's called Holland. You go there in May, and all you do is go, wow. And thousands upon thousands of people come. What is it about Northwest Indiana that people going, wow? We need to figure out our wow, don't we? And then reproduce it. So what is the bottom line? The bottom line is, your wow, the better you get at your wow, can actually become the best you if it's reproduced. So yeah, you can be a great artist and become better at it. But the best you is to reproduce other artists. One word, wow. One sentence. If it's alive, it's meant to multiply. Wow, I'm done. Thanks.